Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone from whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 elect. I am Mayakala. And I have a video that I want to play that was is an interview that was done probably if not the end of the maybe 68 or 69, maybe the early 70s. So like I don't know the exact date that it was done, but this is an interview conducted by Sammy Davis Jr. and he's interviewing Muhammad Ali. And he's asking him about separation, and I'm not going to show the video, I'm just going to play the audio. So this is under the 1976 Fair Use Act. This is just for edification purposes, but like I said, I'm not even going to show the video, I'm just going to play the audio. I'm going to stop it along the way and bring out a few verses, and that'll be the end of this. But what he's asking Muhammad Ali about, does he believe in total separation? So I'm gonna let it play. Like I said, I'm just gonna play the audio. I'm not gonna show it because it seems like it's kind of like the visual is going fading in and out. So it's not very long. So here, I'll let it play.
Let me ask you, do you believe in total? I'm talking about total separation.
Yes, see, we who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad believe everything that he teaches. And what I would like to say, like you have the Dakiti on and the African bead and your nice, beautiful afro, you must have to admit, and I know you're an intelligent man, well-loved and liked by our people and all people, you have to admit that you yourself wasn't always thinking like this.
No, I just said it.
Right.
I wasn't thinking like this, but I want to know, how could it work?
One thing.
How could we just totally separate? Because here's the thing that I've never been able to equate to. If I want a separate state, and I'm not opposed to it. Now let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm not for it.
All right, I'm gonna pause it right there because he's first asking, this is Sammy Davis Jr. asking, how could it work? How could total separation work? Well, as we know that the total separation, when you is still remaining in this same country that's trying to oppress you, seeks to oppress you. Anytime that we separated, because we did separate a few times, and anytime that we did separate, examples is Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Black Wall Street was, and a number of places where we did separate. They went in and came in an effort to destroy these places. It was done another time in Florida, I believe it's in Roseville. All right, when they saw the success and saw that we were doing well without them, you know, because the wicked are the way they are, they came in and seek out the Israelites who are in total separation, and they wanted to destroy it. All right, so we had a couple times, more than a couple times, where we did separate, but just being in this country and remaining in this country, remaining under this rulership in this current kingdom, it doesn't work, because Esau, Edom's so-called white man, has been blessed with the sword. All right, as it tells us in the book of Genesis. All right, so with them being blessed with the sword, there's no way we could come up against their armies, that we could come up against their wickedness and their effort to come and destroy anytime that we set up an area where we wanted to be separate from them. All right. The first scripture that I want to bring out, I'm going to go into Sirach chapter 10, In verse 8 it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So because the wicked, they come and slaughtered, they come and like I said, them being blessed with the sword, they would come, they didn't mind shedding blood, they didn't mind conquering, they didn't mind using that blessing that they were given by Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. They would come in and destroy these places that we would set up in an effort to be separate from them, because they know that we were a people who are able to do hard work, do hard labor under the sun, and we could take care of ourselves. We could build, we could grow food, inventions, many inventions. So we had no problem with being able to separate and do hard work and do what it took in order to be able to build up a place, or build up a separate land, a separate area where we could thrive and live just amongst ourselves without them. And they quickly realized that being without us, being without them, they were suffering. They couldn't go out and do that labor. They couldn't go out and be in the sun and do what it took in order to grow food and bring forth food and harvest it. All right, they burn up out there, and plus they just plain lazy and weren't willing to put in the work and do it anyway and see it through. They'd rather have somebody else under their thumb to do their work for them. All right. So one kingdom has to be put down. All right. As this current kingdom is, you see, this current kingdom is going down. One kingdom, two. You can't bring out another kingdom and they coexist. It's just one king must go down and another comes up. All right, you can't coexist together. All right, not with the wicked, because he doesn't want only he wants more than what he has. He wants yours too. And once he sees yours is doing well and thriving, he seeks to destroy. That's what the wicked do. All right. I'm going to bring out another verse. I'm going to Psalms chapter 75. Psalm 75 verses, I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. All right, and just like I said, two kingdoms and I cannot coexist. One kingdom has to be put down. As you see, this current kingdom that we are in, as ruled by the wicked, is being put down. You see it slowly. Actually, it's actually sped up in most recent times. You're seeing that this kingdom is slowly, is gradually going down. All right, all the greatness that they had in the past, all the things that they were able to do in the past, they're no longer able to do. All right, that hegemony that they've had in the eastern part of the world is beginning to crumble. All right, they've always, not always, but as of recent, they've been in position where they were able to dominate the globe and go and conquer, because of them being blessed with the sword and having their armies and having military bases spread out in different countries. All right, they've been in a position where they can be that hammer of the earth. All right, if they didn't like a certain kingdom or a certain rulership in the country, they were able to go in, bring it down, and set up their own puppet, put their own people in those positions of authority. But with this Iranian, with this current war that's going on, you're seeing that is coming to an end. All right, and they're not able to to do the things that they've been able to do in the past, because it's a different time. All right, and being that they don't have the troops to be able to go into certain areas, like Iran, as for example, where it's a very mountainous terrain and very hard to navigate. All right, it's difficult for them to go in and be able to put ground troops there and be able to conquer like they have in the past, because there's a different type of war that's taking place right now. All right, but I'm gonna let a little bit more display.
I'm not against it, but I'm not opposed to it. What I'm waiting to see is, how do you get them states without asking the white man who you want to leave to give them to you? Well, why don't we get...
I want to stop him right there, because you heard him say he's not against it, but he's not opposed to it. Let me see. Let me back up, because I'm misquoting him.
Get them states without asking the white man who you want to leave to... And I'm not opposed to it. Now let me tell you this. I'm not for it, I'm not against it, but I'm not opposed to it. What I'm waiting to see is, how do you get them states without asking the white man who you want to leave to get...
So it sounds like he's saying he's not for it. He's not for it. But what he actually said is he's not opposed to it. So I really don't understand what he's saying. All right. He's not giving him a definite answer on really how he feels about the separation himself. Matthew chapter 5. And verse 37 says, "But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil." So Sammy Davis Jr. not really saying exactly what he mean and what he's really for. All right, it sounds like he's saying he's not against it, but he said he's not opposed to it. So he's not giving a definite answer. He's not really saying what his stance is on the separation. You got to remember, at this time, Sammy Davis Jr. was very popular. All right, and he hung out with what they called the Rat Pack, which consisted of who I think were Edomites: Frank Sinatra. Who else was it? Joey Bishop. Dean Martin, that crowd. That's the crowd that he hung out with. All right. So he didn't want to say too much, because he know that he still needed to. He still needed to keep his money right. All right. So he didn't want to go too far. All right. But at the same time, he's sitting up there with a dashiki on, with beads around his neck. All right. And even at this time, he had himself said he had converted to the Jewish religion. All right, so you can see who he was aligned with at this time. All right, but I'm gonna let this continue to play. And I pray that you can hear this audio.
Give them to you. Why don't we get some black rich brothers and build our own plane, get some black rich brothers, the black bourgeois, to put up our factories? Because if we're going to ask the white man to send us back home, if that's your attitude, then I think we've defeated our own purpose right then and there. You see what I mean?
On the back page of Muhammad Speaks newspaper, you will find where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he says, we are not begging, or we're not asking to be given nothing. Don't give us nothing.
I do.
We have been here now for some 300 I would say some 316 years, 17 years working, free labor.
Yeah.
And for an example, you build my house for me, you help me build it, you fight it, you defend it, and then I kick you out and say, okay, boy, you free.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have nothing to go with. Well, repay me some of what you owe me.
What you're talking.
So he's talking, basically, he's talking about reparations. All right? And Esau is not going to repay you. He's not going to pay you what he owes you, because that would mean he would be being fair. That would mean that he would have to say he agrees with you that he was wrong in enslaving a people. All right? And that's just not what they believe. They believe that they were supposed to be in rulership. All right? They believe that what they were doing was righteous. Even to this day, they still believe that they're supposed to be served. But only at this time, they don't care what color you are. If you're not in a certain tax bracket with a certain group included in that certain group, they look at everybody at this point as being slave, as being too many people on the planet. All right, they want to diminish this population. All right, so everybody is vulnerable. Everybody is susceptible to being under their thumb. All right, so I'm going to bring another verse out. I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 63, because see, there's no amount of money that they can pay. All right, there's no amount of money that they can give you for what they have done. All right, it's more than money that they have stolen. All right, they have stolen a whole nation. All right, they have stolen an identity from a nation of people. But we're waking up and understanding who we are now. All right, the so-called black, so-called Native American, and Hispanics of this land. All right. Isaiah. Chapter 63 says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?" And Basra would represent America today. The dyed garment would be that garment that Yahushua would be wearing once he comes in and destroys this place, because that'll be the blood. It represents the blood shed that's going to take place when he comes in and destroys the rulers, the people who are in rulership at this time, the rich elite, those banking families that rule this world, the wicked whom this world was given to. All right? It says, "This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness am mighty to save." So this is Yahushua. And this is what must take place, all right, in order for this one kingdom to come down and for another kingdom to come up. You're seeing the beginnings of it with the war that's taking place right now. This is the third woe that's spoken of in the book of Revelation, all right? You're seeing the beginnings of it, because this current kingdom, this current rulership has to be abolished, has to be taken down in order for the kingdom that's to come, all right, in order for that to take place, because that kingdom will be here on earth, just like it says when you pray, Matthew chapter 6, starting at about verse 9. All right, this is that kingdom that is to come, that rulership that's going to be set up. All right, the 144,000 elect. All right, of the nation of Israel, Yasharallah in the Hebrew. Verse 2 says, "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat?" All right, in And I just explained to you why it's red, because that's Esau, Edom. Those who are in positions of authority. All right, they're going to be destroyed. He's going to be destroyed when he comes in those chariots. Those chariots have weapons on them. All right, have lasers on them. All right, and that's what you see. You're seeing the beginnings of the war that is going to gather. All right, going to be gathered in what you call the Middle East. You're seeing the beginnings of it right now, where all the armies are going to be for the war of Armageddon. All right, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat. That's where Yahweh have judgment. All right, on all the world, on all those armies that are there that are gathered, because see, it's being put together right now. That's why you're seeing the war, beginning of this war, this third woe. All right, because those armies are beginning to be gathered. They're all going to be there, and they're all going to try to come together and direct their weapons against Yahushua when he parted those clouds, with his chariot and his army, and the archangel, led by the archangel Michael, coming down to destroy this place. All right, and once they do that, try to turn their weapons on Yahushua and his army, that's going to be their downfall. That's where they're going to be destroyed. And not only just those armies, but also the United States itself is going to be completely destroyed, because other countries are going to let off nuclear weapons, and Yahushua and his chariot is going to come and finish it off. It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. All right. So that's what's going to take place. The total destruction with the beginning, when that third war is underway. All right. I'm going to go to bring out just another one, and I'm almost done here. I'm not going to make this real long. I'm going to go to Jeremiah chapter 25. And begin at verse 31. It says, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord Yahweh hath a controversy with the nations, and he will plead with all flesh. And when it says he's going to plead with all flesh, it doesn't mean that he's going to come and beg and ask that they do not war. All right, he's coming in judgment. That's what that word plead means. He's coming to judge the nations. It says he will plead with all flesh, and he will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord Yahweh. So that this wicked rulership, this wicked kingdom that you see right now that's reigning here on earth is going to be destroyed. All right. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of the host, meaning armies, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind, that whirlwind being the chariots, shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth, and they shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. So when he comes and destroys these nations, destroys all the wicked, all right, they're going to be destroyed all over the world. All the wicked are going to be destroyed, even the 2/3 of the nation of Yasharallah that are wicked right now, but they're going to come back in the kingdom. All right. I'm going to end that right there. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more of this video here, because there's a little bit more that I want to bring out.
About is what we've done to all nations that we fought with, all the nations. Germany has done it with the Jew in terms of the restitution of some kind.
Right. Simon, one thing.
Go ahead.
May I interject? I don't know if it's an open forum or not, but I think that the basic problem Muhammad in that is.
And this is a third party, another guest that's on Sammy Davis Jr.'s show, and he appears as if he might be Latin, but I'm not sure who this is. I mean, I don't recognize him, but he's just bringing out a point that he wanted to make.
That if that is going to be done for the Negro, then there's also another minority. You have the Mexican American, the Puerto Rican, the Cubano. You have the Indian, certainly.
The people that you have named didn't suffer 310 years of castrating, lynching, raping, burning.
Oh yes, if you want the story of the Mexican American, I'll tell you after the show, because we don't have time to get into it.
I don't think they can nearly match what we went through.
I'm afraid
couldn't say that.
I'm afraid. Well, say it was half as bad.
Right, wait a minute.
And you got 5 states. Are you going to give 2.5 states?
This. It's
yes.
my show.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there, because those other peoples that he named, those are Israelites indeed. All right, because maybe Muhammad Ali at this time wasn't really fully aware, but we're aware of it now. We know that those are our brothers. Those are Israelites that he named, and they too, in fact, they had gone on this side of the world. They had gone into captivity before we had, and they had been slaughtered by Esau, Edom. All right, they had been massacred. They'd been wiped out, and they had their identity stolen from them as well. All right, I'm just gonna read a little bit, because I'm gonna go to Google AI and just pose that question. Let's see. I just asked Google AI for the estimated number of Tainos murdered by Christopher Columbus. All right. It says, while there is no specific figure for Tainos directly murdered by Christopher Columbus, historians estimate that the Taino population of Hispaniola declined from several 100,000 to essentially zero within a few decades of his arrival. Scholars attribute this catastrophic collapse to the combination of warfare, enslavement, forced labor, and imported European diseases. All right, you hear that? In addition to what he did, he also brought diseases with him, European diseases. Says the most prominent contemporary account comes from the Spanish missionary Bartolomé de las Casas, who documented the widespread Spanish atrocities against the indigenous populations in a short account of the destruction of the Indies. Because exact censuses did not exist prior to European contact, and due to ongoing debates about the pre-contact population size, total fatality estimates vary significantly. Says initial population. Estimates of Taino population in 1492 range from roughly 100,000 to upwards of 3 million. Says the Columbus era. During Columbus's governorship, tens of thousands of Tainos died as a direct result of violent subjugations, failed rebellions, enslavement, and being worked to death in gold mines. So they say tens of thousands of Tainos died as a direct result. Instead of being accurate and saying exactly what happened, tens of thousands and more than that were murdered. That's what happened. They didn't just die, they were murdered and slaughtered by the conquistadors. It says, for example, a single punitive expedition in 1495 resulted in the capture of 1,500 Tainos. hundreds of whom died during a brutal transatlantic voyage to be sold in Spain. All right, so not only did it do it on this side, but they took Taínos back to Spain and to enslave them there. It says total decline. By 1508, following Columbus's tenure, Spanish records indicate that the native population on Hispaniola had dropped to about 60,000. By the mid-16th century, the Taíno were widely declared extinct as a distinct surviving cultural group. Though modern DNA studies have revealed that many contemporary Caribbean populations still carry Taíno genetic heritage. All right, I'm not going to read all of this article, but I wanted to just bring out, because like I said, Muhammad Ali just maybe not been aware of it, but those, I mean, I'm sure he wasn't aware of it, but those are our brothers. They are part of the nation of Yasharala. Let's see, I had one more verse that I wanted to bring out. Let me see if I can find it here. Alright, I'm just going to bring out this one other verse, and then that's going to be the end of this. Just going right back into Isaiah chapter 63, and I just wanted to bring out verse 4. It says, "For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come." And then the NLT says, "For the time has come for me to avenge my people, to ransom them from their oppressors." All right, so that is what we do. We patiently wait, and patiently meaning to suffer and waiting for our Lord, our Savior, our Redeemer to come back and save us and get us and take us out of this captivity that we're in right now. Because like I said, no reparation, no amount of money, they can't repay it. All right, for what they have done, their blood, for all the blood that they have spilled, their blood must be shed also. All right, and this kingdom has to be taken down so that another kingdom, the kingdom to come, all right, it will be in rulership, all right, headed by Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Salakia, all right, and that kingdom's going to rule forever and forever, all right. But I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and I pray that this has been edifying to the listener. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha HaKadosh, Shalom.